Hold on, I'm rotating. Love it. All right. All right. We'll shoot right through the middle. How about that? All right, that one's live on YouTube. Don't fight. Your lighting's awful, man. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Your lighting sucks. That's not bad. This thing's just fucking. It's because it's what it is. What? It's a little dark, right? Yeah, absolutely. You understand, believe me. Oh yeah, she was in the studio. She was in the shop all decked out yesterday. I was like, look at you. I lived there for 3 years. It's awesome. Yeah. What's up, Fluffernutter?
He's supposed to have at this point.
You're already live. You've been live for like 20 minutes, dude.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Do you want me to start yours?
You sound like it's 20 minutes.
All right, thanks everyone for coming out to the NJ Candle Blooming Penny Chronicles show. We're about to get started here. And welcome our host, Dan Uloa, publisher of HeadyNJ. Let's go.
Woo!
Thank you. Welcome, guys.
Yeah. Woo!
Good to see everybody here. Thank you very much. You know what we do at HeadyNJ, we cover cannabis community news, politics, business, and culture. What's going on here? So, it's really great to see everybody. It's been a hard struggle. This is crazy. I've been at this since before COVID, and now we're in this industry. We're in this market. We've sort of done this thing, but we're still building the thing, and it's really interesting. Sometimes to see what we see. For example, with trends, with the stores, the workers, the cultivators. So it's always good. It's really interesting. We got that live show, guys. Dog handlers. Wow, John, that's the right. But it's really great to have everybody here. So we really want to talk about a lot of the good things going on, the opportunities for people, the big issues. First, we're going to hear a little from a couple collaborators. First, we got a lot of people to thank first. I want to thank the UCW Local 360 Union for letting us use the hall.
Woo! Yeah.
Got this beautiful place. We have really got all these disco balls going. The life of the American flag, patriotism, being patriotic with America, and long story. But yeah, also thank our DJ here. We got our food vendor, Steve Cobb. I got my team here. It's really great to have a team. For example, I've been trying to build this company as a writer and figuring out stuff and show business and publishing and stuff. So we got my boy, Maya Ramos, great event promoter. Woo! Yeah, happy to have Chelsea here with Pump Cards now. It's really great. I got my freelancers here, Jesse, Jack, my remote operations guy, Jay. And I just want to thank my lovely wife, Jody, who be here today. Woo! Thank you, guys. So I want to thank a couple of our great sponsors. We had Charlie Spoon, a really great guy, cannabis manufacturers. We got a list of really great guys. We got a premium craft cannabis for those who really like authenticity, value, quality, and culture. It's really great that way. We got Mark Haney making a party for everybody. We're happy to have Now Labs, Edibles and Vapors, Philosophy Labs, Common Cocktails, Mountain Farms, joints. Woo! So it's always good that way when we have supportive vibes, live and brand good people. Unfortunately, they had a little thing with the family tech who made this. We have Audio Post, the Post Marketing Agency, that helped come in delivery Scarlet Express. Woo! We're also working with these things. This will be this great business campus networking convention in East Brunswick, Hilton, August 12th to 13th. This should be interesting. We're very happy to have some Candy on here. Thank you. We have High Tide, really great guys. The private cola guys, yo, anyone. I love that cola. Yeah, we have published with that from marijuana in New Jersey. Very happy to have this support. We have it here with us from Tom. So they can add in help medical cannabis patients. That way, you know, it's really great. You know, we got some team across, great guys. Woo! It's really fun for like home gardens, really important, you know, fighting for the activists, you know, fighting for cannabis patients, you know, people need help the most. You know, it's important, you know, it's one of the things about trying to make this thing real. So, you know, it's really interesting, you know, like doing this thing and like working with, you know, different cannabis content creators that we have now. You know, now that we have like this interesting thing and trying to work with people and collaborate. So actually, you know, we have Preston Vincent, you know, with the New Jersey Dispensary Review. Woo! Yeah, come up and say something for a minute. You know, you do your thing. Some of you just figuring out stuff. You do reviews. Some of you like a journalist. You know, just get different perspectives.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? My name is Preston Vincent. I'm the CEO and founder of New Jersey Dispensary Reviews. We are a cannabis review company. We started about 7 years ago when it was medical only in New Jersey. I have my med card. I still do to this day. And we had a bad experience at a dispensary, and you know, we spent quite a bit of money, got some poor quality product, and you know, I went online after this whole thing, and there's really no one to hold accountable. You felt like you just got ripped off, and there was nothing online like educating anyone about legal cannabis in New Jersey. So I started New Jersey Dispensary Reviews, also known as New Jersey Dispo Reviews, and other than that, there was just like one video on News 12 New Jersey showing TerrAscend's grow. There was really no content behind the scenes for these actual products being sold, or these dispensaries even. What's inside these mysterious dispensaries that are popping up left and right all over your towns? We started on a couple platforms, Instagram, Reddit. Obviously, if you're in the cannabis industry, you know Instagram is not the easiest platform to operate on. So trial and tribulation, few accounts later, you know, we grew our audience. You know, our Reddit does over 2 million page views per calendar year alone. We get a bunch of other participants posting their experiences now, which helps me and a bunch of others. Now I'm not the only one doing it. We have about 2,000 contributors to our Reddit weekly that post up their experiences with these products at these dispensaries. So what we do is we have a website, we have a social media page, and we do it every day. We'll post a new product from a dispensary, and we also bring you inside dispensaries. We bring you inside cultivation facilities as well. I think we're one of the first people to get inside, show the public inside, like, you know, one of these, you know, again, like cultivation facilities that no one's ever been inside. So slowly but surely, we started getting more transparency. That's what we wanted throughout the community, is transparency, right? We wanted to see where dispensaries are getting their products from. If you went online, you Google these products, nothing was showing up, and if there was something showing up, it was stock photos. That's where we come in. We don't do stock photos, we take real photos. I do it myself. I put the products in the light box. We reviewed over thousands of products throughout the years doing this. And we're true, authentic reviewers. If it's not the best product, we're going to say that. I'm sorry, but we are. Everything can't be a 10 out of 10. That people are going to call us bullshit. Let's be real. You know, everything can't be perfect. So we hold truly to like our standards and what we do. And throughout that, we love collaborating in the community. I personally found a great home in the cannabis community throughout this journey, doing all of this. Dan, I met throughout the way, other speakers on this panel, great people, just amazing friends, some I'd even call family to this point. And that's what cannabis has done for me personally. Helped me through a lot of hard times, medically and physically, with getting ACL surgery, all that. You know, I'm a single father. I try to do what I can, and cannabis really helped me out for as long as I've been a medical patient. And I cannot thank cannabis and the people in the community also enough for that, because you guys continue many, so many dispensaries, events over the years. It's crazy. So much weed. I mean, the amount of grows we've been into. But that's what we try to do, is we try to bring the viewers into, whether it's a dispensary, a grow facility, or a product. We try to show you what it really is. Whether it's the product, the dispensary, we show you the real photos inside. Same with the grow facilities. We show you the real photos inside of there. And over the years, man, it just grew. And at the end of the day, we're here today. It got legalized recreationally, and now, you see all these people here. It couldn't have turned out any better, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be able to speak, come out, and really just support. We love supporting, we love collaborating. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys, and shout out Heady, shout out everyone that joined us today. Thank you. Woo!
Thank you, Preston. Okay, so now we have new guy, the entertainer, Peter Bucket Man. Good. New guy, entertainer. I'm talking to a news journalist. We have 5 reviewers. What you got?
So I'm about to flex my autism here because I wrote the whole thing in the car, and then he told me we want to condense this down a little bit. So not only am I going to condense it, I'm going to do it without my car. So shout out to Mark Hanna, shout out to High Tide, Sativa Cross, Dispensary Reviews, everyone in this room right now that's making this what it is right now. If you aren't familiar with me, I'm the Bucket Man. I started out doing cannabis content when I started in this industry. Same kind of message we were here before from Dispensary Reviews. These dispensaries get all this stuff that they legalized it, but didn't really inform us on how to use it. After years of fear mongering and saying this is dangerous, well, it's okay. Just be careful or we'll arrest you. So we're trying to get more insight on what people are putting in their body. So now that I've said that, and if you want to learn more, go dive into my content. I'll give you one more thing about me. I've given a lot of examples to prove my nature throughout this industry and how I interact with people. And I'll tell you this, that I am not a fan of who in here has ever contributed cannabis with the Cool Kids Club? Any sort of popularity like that? No one at all. We in this industry have a very small plethora of traders to work with, especially meat creators. We need to stop looking at numbers, and that's not even just saying that for me, I'm saying that for everyone. We need to stop looking at numbers and start using what we have to start generating more media for this industry, start generating more hype for this industry, and more positive hype. Because here's the other thing, guys, we're still playing the societal game of acceptance with cannabis. Sure, people may like it, but they still judge it, they still stigmatize it like crazy. So we still, like I said earlier, I think New Jersey is one of the finest industries in the country for cannabis. I think we've done a lot of good work. I think there's great ways to start off with like, hey, you can't smoke here or there. You just be aware of other people. Very simple. So last point I want to touch on here, and I think this is very important. Now, not past November when the elections happen. If you don't think the House is going to flip, go get your head checked. It's going to flip, and you speak out now because everyone's watching. Everyone's watching who's doing what. Everyone's watching who's sitting with who. Everyone's watching who's being silent, and everyone's watching who's choosing now to speak up versus when the House flips, and everyone in the community is like, powers that be, is it going to punish us? We can speak out. You speak out now, if people are watching, they will remember. And we wouldn't have any of this, if we didn't have the freedom to capitalize on this stuff, to speak our minds about it. I, like Dispensary Reviews was saying earlier, I very much have, in some aspects, had to force my kind of way into a home in this industry. But that said, I have a lot of people that really feel comfortable with in this industry, and I very much consider this a home. And I want to do everything I can to make it better. And it's all been a lot. There's no need for the petty infighting, the throwing down at each other's social media and whatnot. We're all in this together, and we absolutely cannot reflect practices of the pharmaceutical industry, the alcohol industry, versus all this crazy competitive toxic marketing and other bad aspects. We need to be better. Thank you.
Perfect man. Next up, we have, I believe, the dispensary guy, Mike. You know, he's always great for the YouTube show. Woo! Nice to see you.
Welcome. Thank you. Doing good. What's up? It is not Wednesday night. I'm here live. It was Saturday? Yeah, Saturday, man. If I'm holding the mic, it's normally Wednesday night. If you're ever on past 3 years on any social media platform in New Jersey, I'm sure you've seen me. We stopped to stick with cannabis every week. Little backstory of the dispensary guy, how we got started, everything else. Traveled the country for multiple years, saw the dispensaries everywhere, saw what they could do, how good they could become back in New Jersey. Man, we got a long way to go. We got people not going to dispensaries. We got people scared of cannabis. We need to stop that stigma immediately. So what's the best way to do it? Turn the microphone on, turn around as a normal person and say, this is my experience. This is what I'm seeing. This is what we can do. This is not a bad thing. We all survive who we live doing this. And that's what I decided to do. Small little live stream. Now I'm happy to say after 3 years, we run about 105 viewers a week, million views a month. It's insane. We're just absolutely ripping up Crush City on cannabis every week. On Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, that's what we do. Dan Rice and I talk about it. Everybody supporting cannabis. Nobody should be in jail for cannabis. Remember that. Yeah. No one. No one. All right, let's go. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Thanks, bud. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's always good, like, learning about people's different perspectives, about things, you know, live streaming. I'm gonna be like a writer here. Now we're doing videos. I got a show. I got a hat. I got an audience. You know, the live show's very different. Just chilling in the office, you know. It's always an interesting thing, just figuring out like the format and that kind of thing. Articles, art, and everything else. It's always like really interesting. So we actually have like one last person before we get started with our panel. We have Michelle Santos, great Canada coverage insurance specialist and advocate for equity in the market and life. Woo! Woo!
Great to be here. Thank you so much. Michelle Santos, founder and CEO of Canada Coverage Insurance Services. We provide all the commercial business insurance for the entire cannabis ecosystem, from cultivation to manufacturing to dispensaries, distribution, etc. We also offer employee health benefits, and we found an intersection with healthcare, offering medical cannabis as an employee benefit. We're offering it to public sector, private sector, and it's a way to attract and retain new customers to the entire cannabis industry. We know that we can improve health outcomes because a plant is a medicine.
Nice. Thank you very much, Michelle. Woo! Okay, so we're on to our main show. Let's have our panelists come up. You know, we have here on the oncoming organizing director of the UFCW here, Giordano. You know, we have New Jersey Cannabis Association former president emeritus, Township Green dispensary owner Scott Butter. Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, welcome. So, how about you introduce yourselves for our crowd here?
I'm Scott Rutter. I'm the founder of a couple of different things. So I founded the New Jersey Cannabis Association back in 2016.
Yeah.
I got one of our OG board members here, Vice President, and Mary Hayes. I founded that, and then I've been involved with the cannabis industry for a long time. I had clients, and actually, one second, for a second. So when I formed the New Jersey Cannabis Association, one of the reasons why I founded that was there was representation and voice for patients, and through the coalition of New Jersey, and there was a voice for social justice with New Jersey medical marijuana before. There wasn't anything for the business side, and I really want to get involved in some place in this industry. And we started moving forward. It was actually a partnership with a union, the business association. Partnering with the union is what helped get the job done. So one of the things I'm really proud of is that our relationship and our partnership.
Woo. Yeah.
And then after all that stuff came along, we had cannabis legalized, and I decided to throw my hat in the ring, and I pursued a license on my own. So the dispensary is called Township Green, located in Riverside, New Jersey, South Jersey, Belknap County. Amazing store, amazing staff. You're going to love it when you stop by. TownshipGreen.com.
Yeah.
Well, hello, everybody. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for coming to the hall today and hanging out with us. This is exactly what the Union Hall is about. It's about community. It's about getting together. It's about humanizing each other. There's lots of different folks in this room, from business to law to workers to patients. So it's nice to get everybody together. I appreciate you being here. So give a round of applause to yourself. So my name is Giordano. I am the director of organizing for the UFCW Local 360. I have been with the union for over a decade, 2 decades at this point. It's almost 26 years. I have been fighting for workers since the age of 16 when I organized my job. I was a little rough leader, revolution there, and I've been with it ever since. I got involved with cannabis around 20 years ago in 2010. So in regards to the medical bill being passed, that's how I met the coalition of medical marijuana, who was the original OGs before any of us. And I've been in the fight ever since. Representation is important. Just like Scott said, patients had representation, business had representation. We wanted to make sure that workers had that representation too. That it was an equal playing field for everybody, that we could all gain value from our knowledge and hard work, be able to take care of our families, whether that was a small business owner or the person working 40+ hours a week as a bartender or working in trim for 40+ hours a week. We wanted to make sure that everybody had a victory. And that was the goal of the UFCW, the goal of my mission as an individual, to make sure that folks could eat. And so I really appreciate this, and I want to thank HeadyNJ for even considering coming to the union and hanging out with us. Thank
you. Appreciate that. Yeah, great guys here. You know, it's always been interesting. Me being like a writer, low-key advocate. You know, I was part of the coalition, but ultimately got it done as part of the Latino Action Network. Really great. You know, I'm Peruvian. It's a long story. But yeah, so let's talk about this. We've got this thing. We have like, we're this many years like out of this, from this 7 years, 8 years, 9 years from some of us. So what are some of the great opportunities that exist for people like now that did not exist?
Sure. I think the opportunity has grown because now there's more facilities and people existing. Before it was a very tight community, very few employers. So if you got a job as a bartender or you got a job in the cultivation site, you want to be. But now with adult use, folks have an opportunity in that regard. Also, the education system in New Jersey has changed. You got Rowan, you got Stockton, and you got Rutgers invested. You have community college that are investing in this education. We have folks in this room who are graduating soon enough with degrees. So it's just going to continue to grow. But I think those are the obvious simplistic things.
There's gonna, the whole world is transforming as we speak, right? So AI, all the other innovations, all these things happening. And I think, I couldn't tell you what the amazing new opportunity is, because whatever we think it is today, it's going to be different tomorrow. And I would just say this, like getting smart on this subject and being ready to work in different categories, and being ready to be flexible. You're going to have to want to be flexible, because it's, whatever you're doing today, if you're in this industry, whether you're bartending or you're on the cultivation side, manufacturing side, I mean, there's going to be jobs there, but there's going to be different jobs too. So there's going to be different jobs that are here today that are going to be different tomorrow. So I think, for the biggest thing for anybody who wants to get involved in this industry is just go in and understand that you need to be flexible, and you need to be, you need to just go with the way that technology is going to get smart on it. Don't wait for it to impact you, understand it first before you impact you.
Nice. Isn't it just important though, like the nature of AI? It's always interesting, as a business person, it's difficult, sometimes like you love it, you can figure these things out, but sometimes you have these crazy trends that impact you not so good about. But let's get to the market. What about the market now here in New Jersey? Are you like happiest about? Or is like, yes, this is great that we have this now?
Well, I gotta tell you, what I really love is the diversity of product that we're seeing today. The diversity of product is really amazing in New Jersey. And I'm gonna give you a real world example. My mother, who is in Florida, right? So Florida's got this massive industry and all these other things. I can't say what I guess because I'm being filmed here, I can't really say exactly, but somehow magically she gets edibles from time to time. I don't know how that happens, right? And then summertime happens and they show up melted, right? So that's sort of obvious after the first 2 times I did that, or somebody did that delivery. So my brother, who lives 3 hours away, I was like, look, just go to Mom, go to stop at the local Cure Leaf that's down there, and go get her some edibles, and I'll help you guide if you didn't have any questions. There's no diversity of product in freaking Florida. It is THC and maybe CBD. The CBN, the CBGs, everything that people are coming out there right now to look for, you're going to find it in New Jersey. You're not finding it in these other limited markets, and particularly being a medical-only state. That really, really bothers me. I'm offended on behalf of patients down in Florida that you have this industry there that does not offer a variety of products to deal with different conditions and different symptoms. We have that in New Jersey, and it's getting better all the time. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next.
I have the second time. I don't know how much more to add on that. I think the only thing I'm excited about is seeing more small business owners, more people of color, or women have an opportunity to get in. They're starting to release more licenses in that but I think the back of the house is absolutely right. Having more products, more jobs, which is great to see. So, yes.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. It's definitely one of the things that is like great about like 2026 that we do have like all these products. We do have like high times here. We do have like kind of caviar here. There's very like interesting brands that didn't exist. Like even like 2023, like when the market opened with like independent adult use market versus like we had like a lot of the NSOs. That's when like Florida's like heavy in the multi-state operators. It's very corporate that way. It's kind of the smoke shop that way. It's difficult for the grandmas. So we have like progress in Jersey. It is fun, to be here. We have like you have a dispensary. People are up. But like it is hard. And like a lot's going on, and like it's tumultuous times. So, what areas of like this industry would you like to really see like the most improvement?
there's a couple of things. I mean, one is safety, not only safety for patients, but also safety for the workers. Making sure that they have safe work environments. If we have that stuff in there, it's going to not only hurt the workers, but it's going to hurt the patients, which hurts working class people. So that is one thing I still think needs to be improved. But I'm happy to see also that we're seeing improvements with workers here in New Jersey. We're seeing employers that are now paying decent wages, that are providing some health care, things that are important to working class people. And I think we can continue to do well on that. But those are the things that I want to see continue.
I think some of the biggest improvements we need to see happen in New Jersey is deregulation. Right now, we are so overregulated, and it's kind of silly. Like all the security measures we have, and all the process of tracking products from the cultivator to manufacturer to the end user, to the dispensary operator, and then to the end user, it's just dramatically expensive and very, very unnecessary today. I think when we were talking about legalization before, you had all these safeguards, we had all these things that were in place to make legislators and decision makers comfortable with this. But now that we're seeing this in operation, like people are getting shot up all over the place, all these things aren't happening. You literally have to drive around a beer truck in the street of Calgary. You have to drive around the huge beer truck with one dude with thousands of cases of beer in it. He just leaves it there and he does his job and no one steals it. It's amazing how that can happen, right? So that's happening right now in the cannabis industry. Well, rather, it can be happening right now in the cannabis industry. It's not. And so a lot of the costs that are associated with the purchase of a product is based on all the different expenses that the operators had to do to get there, to get to the end user, to get to that customer. So there's a lot of regulations that are in place right now that need to go back. There's a lot of safety regulations that are there, that are necessary, need to stay there. Testing is a big, huge part of it, because we don't have bacteria and other compounds that are in cannabis plants and other products. So yeah, 100% we need to deregulate.
Nice. Those are good points. It's definitely like big issues that we've been covering, product quality, and then like the red tape for the small business people. It's really difficult. We get some companies, maybe they do like a lot of regulation and they're really big and have like lots of money and like are able to like influence processes. And then we hear stories about them. And it's difficult when you hear like a bad story. And a lot of people tell me bad stories can't tell everybody's story on that way. I got a big mouth, it seems. So I think we want to wrap it up. Thank you, Hugh and Scott. Yeah, guys. Does anybody have a question? This should be good. We have a lot going on. We have like great experts here. This is literally like the guy like the forefront of like the people. It would be like you, Bill, like Lefty, Ken, like a few others that have been there a while.
So for the people who care about this, what can we do to help this process?
That's a good question. The question was, what can we do to help the process, political process?
So there's coming this fall, there's going to be an initiative led by different organizations, NJCBA being one of them, and it's going to be reform back. So we're developing that as we speak. And I think the biggest thing for you guys is continue to pay attention to all these different outlets that are here right now. Pay attention to them. We're the ones who are going to be reporting what's going to be going on when there's going to be hearings, and then that's the biggest part. It's like showing up and being there and contacting your own legislators. That is a huge thing. When we were going down the legalization path, we produced letters. We would write letters for people, and you would go onto our website, you would click, and bam, a letter went out to the assemblyman, and the 2 assembly members, and the senator, and all that stuff. So just pay attention. It's going to be happening this fall. So that's the biggest thing you do, is making sure your voice is heard and it's loud.
No, absolutely. I think also you want to go, if you're not up to date, start going to your council meetings, speaking to your council president and mayor. That's a big issue because a lot of these companies can't even get open because there's not enough facilities or areas that have opted in. So I think that's a big thing. There's only a little over 30%, right, that are opted in. So that means you have another 70% that are just sitting there, and over 2,000 conditional licenses. So I think that's something you can do. But also you should make, Scott is absolutely right. You got to start in the politics political side of it. Start a small community group, not home brewers, get the voter list, go to the people that you think would be open to it, and start putting pressure on them. That's exactly what you're trying to do. It's not tough for you.
And we gotta get homegrown. We gotta get homegrown done, right? So we gotta do that. You have to stay motivated. You have to stay motivated. Sometimes it's so disheartening. If you've been around the block for a long time, it gets so disheartening. There's so many other priorities that are going on in the state, in your local communities. The cannabis is sort of this thing that's flying around out there, but the impact it has on somebody's life, somebody's health and their welfare, is very, very significant. But what you said, Michelle, you're going to be a big part of all this stuff too. We're just having that kind of innovation out there right now. Companies that are trying to figure out how I can get it so that it's very affordable for patients if they're going to buy something. Not everybody, even when we have homegrown, not all patients are going to have the ability or desire to grow. They're going to want to get something simple from their local dispensary, right? But home grow for patients, having access to your own personal health care is critical. So that is definitely something that keep paying attention to, because that fight's not over.
Woo!
And I think they can hear that even on the worker side, on the union, we support medical home grow as well. We think it'll create jobs. A lot of folks say, oh, big jobs, right? No, it won't. Because someone has to do the clones in the back of the house. Somebody has to sell the clone in the front of the house. Someone has to drive those clones to a facility to be sold. And on top of all the other things that you can sell for those, we think that is definitely something that needs to pass. It should have passed, 15 years ago. But it'll be a job creator too on top of it.
Yeah. Nice. Yes. Thank you, Scott, for endorsing the homegrown. It's a big issue. We've always been for it, along with descheduling cannabis, taking it off the CSA. But it's a long story about that. We have a question though from Mike here. Yes. Okay, that's a good question. That we had Mike Brennan of the Coalition of Medical Marijuana of New Jersey, asking about the medical cannabis patient numbers. That's really difficult to track, because yes, we are down. We are very much down. But then, like, the nature of it, say, like, bringing them back is like a very interesting question, because like, why do I need to, like, if I had like other medicine, do I need to like sign up for any of the red tape? Like, I myself, like I was a medical cannabis patient. I do have a lot of issues, man. I'm stressed. I got stomach issues. It's intense. It's a long story. We don't think about that. You about my issues. But that's the thing. Saying, like, now that I was a medical patient, and now like I get my medicine over the counter, OTC, from all sorts of places, all sorts of dispensaries that like have like good stuff. I think CPGs. Now we have a diverse market. It's easier. It is very difficult, we do have like patients that really need their strength. This is why we need homegrown. Like, if I need to terribly name green crack, it really helps with like CBG. Like, if it's what I need, like it doesn't sell enough weed for a store that wants to make money. We were saying about like sometimes it's hard to be a small businessman. the red tent, outpatient, et cetera, et cetera. It's really difficult because like we do care about patients. And, like even like I think I saw RSO, Rick Simpson oil, the strongest thing. Like if I really had somebody that was dying, I would say Rick Simpson oil, RSO. You need a guy, I know a guy. You want to see a dispensary? I found it in a New Jersey adult use dispensary. And I'm saying like this is medicine for fucking cancer. Oh, excuse me, friend. We even had a guy who's a South Jersey boy. I should have been invited him. I haven't even seen him in a minute. Patrick Duff cured cancer or treated his cancer. He's in remission. God bless you, Patrick Duff. You lovable guy. You know, felt like long time activists like you. You know, we're saying like Mike here. You know, Duff. But what are you guys thinking about these medical issues?
So I think, so Michael, I think you lost a lot of patients. The program lost a lot of patients because they lost somebody like me, right? So I don't need to be a patient anymore. I don't have serious medical issues, but I had issues enough that I wouldn't have a medical card. But now I don't need to. So it's sort of like, that I need to have a medical card or a prescription for Advil? No, I don't. I can just go in and give me Advil. But if we have something more specific, I think once we start to see insurance getting more involved in this, then you're going to start to see more people becoming patients again. And I also think, like, why do I spend $200 for the right of buying something, right? That's just it needs to be part of it, rolled up into our overall insurance program. And once you can start to do, a $15 copay for that ounce that you need, then everybody, and it's really affordable health. So, again, as a dispensary operator, things are going to evolve, and I don't know that there's going to be such a proliferation of adult use dispensaries that when insurance does get involved, the state has to recognize that a lot of these adult use dispensaries can simply get a medical designation, pass some certification classes, make sure there's some education component for to train the staff. But it should be something simpler so that almost immediately, patients will have access to their local dispensary rather than driving, as they currently have to do, for an hour just to a medical place, right? So I think once insurance gets involved, once Michelle gets more people involved, I think that's when you're going to see that transformation. And again, it's the acceptance of it. The stigma is still there for a lot of people. That stigma is still there. So I have in my family, I have a child and my mother who are involved who have medical issues and are medical patients. So like that's part of the talk about the culture in the cannabis community. That cannabis community now includes patients who are young and patients who are old and everybody in between.
I got a question to get to. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Okay, it's kind of a question, part statement. I was real happy finally when Jake's Law got passed, and all of a sudden it was recognized that this was medicine, cannabis, and New Jersey does not tax medicine, never did until cannabis, even though New Jersey said cannabis medically shall be treated on par with prescription concerns as far as we do things, and it never really got done that way. So when it finally became a word, yes, this is it. By the way, the division of taxation was all in favor of the bill, that because they run bills by them and have to do with taxation, is omitting that entirely. So the division of taxation didn't want to collect it for the right reasons, but it was getting collected for describable reasons. But here's the insult to injury to patients. Why was it phased out? No, we need that 2% more than you do. Now, to a patient running out of medicine, that 2% was a day and a half of medicine, perhaps, to them. So they stole patients' medicine for what? What happened to that? On top of all that, they kept it in the end. I want my money back. How do we go about that? Or doing something for cannabis patients, because it's a matter of record. It's not that hard to find out. It's not to be given back to me in the form of a voucher to get the medicine back that's stolen from me. Well, if it's too difficult, we can't, because then we have to, and that would be, if it's that, how about donating it to something that helps patients, because I don't want the state to have it. They never should have had it, we knew it, and I was the one that made sure that Wikipedia got that one straight. It became known it yet, except for cannabis. And you know, that's an insult that really needs to be rectified.
Okay, so we have a longtime activist here, Jim Miller, describing issues with medical cannabis.
Thanks, Jim.
Oh yeah, Jim is like the OG who like inspires people, inspires like other people that now we're here, by the way, guys. Think about that like this way. No, it's always like interested that way. But yeah, to say like the question dealing with medical cannabis being taxed by the government, how do we change that? What do we do?
Well, we give it back. How do we do it?
How do we get it back? I guess the legislation ideally would be like what I would say, but then it's a very difficult thing. So it's the nature of the name of our friend outside, Ratari.
This is where having orders of assembly in there, the advice is going to be like very valuable, you know. And
That's true. So we got to mention
yeah,
that.
what I was saying, I mean, you would know what that might involve, and, you know, and if it's undoable, you know, you said, well, here's those reasons why that would be almost impossible. Yes, I'm also flexible. I agree with that, and you got to learn the reason. And I'm fine with that when somebody that has more information than me, you know, tells me something like that, I'm able to change direction. So help me out.
All right, so I wish I had a really solid answer, and I don't want this to sound weaselly at all. So getting money out of Trenton is really, really hard. Trenton is really good at taking the money in. It's not really good at putting it back, right? So that'll be hard. But I love what you said about the vouchers. So I don't think, again, things are evolutionary. They're incremental. It takes time, and people are just getting to understand it. I like the voucher thing that you said. There could be, I don't know when, probably not this year, maybe next year, I have no idea when, but there could be something there that, again, when we start to get into more insurance from different programs, and there can be some recognition. Like we have recognition of things. Like when we talked about, we didn't just decriminalize, we didn't just, do expungements. We did talk about, we talked a lot about decriminalization. We didn't talk about expungements, in the beginning, right? So we talked a lot about that. We had that as a placeholder. Like, man, once this happens, like decriminalization is not going to be good enough. We need to get this off of people's records. So that they held that there as an issue. When the time came and it became something they could address, bam, they went right towards that, right? It's not the perfect system, but it's pretty good compared to the rest of the country. So when I think about it from that perspective, I think of like a voucher as something, just to put a plug in and hold it. Say, once we start to really get into more of the medical side, instead of having insurance involved, and maybe there is something that can offset, particularly those who are registered or something like that. I don't know. It would be very, very complicated to just give the money back, but there may be something in there that the state could do to offset the cost.
As long as they don't have it for the general credit.
Right on.
You know what I mean? Because like this is what's getting stuff done, social equity, I mean, it's like having those deals, but there was never any deal in place. What to do with the money you already took.
Building the airplane as you're flying. That's what we did. We built the airplane as we're flying. We didn't want it to be perfect, and then we vote on it, right? So you start to just go through these things, and that's why and then you make adjustments as you go.
I agree with something already said once, and you don't hear me say that a lot.
Never heard so.
Cannot let the quest for perfection begin with the good, and that was to get legalization passed.
Right.
Now, I'm just saying, to get hospital passed for patients to have a bill of health, we shouldn't let the quest for perfection and the enemy of goodness with bill, so we need to know what good is in the bill before we know what's going on.
Separate issues there,
I'm
for
a
sure.
board
All right,
member.
good. Kind of separate issue here, because the home grow is a standalone. It's just a standalone. Like, that needs to be not wrapped into all this other crap that's out there. Like, that's access, medical access for patients, particularly those who have a very specific issue. And I think that's the educational part of things that has to happen with the decision makers, with the legislators, and your local communities, is that there are very specific patients who have very specific needs. Just buying a pack of weed is not going to get the job done, right? And that's where education comes in. People just don't understand it. Again, to go back to Florida for a second, there's no freaking option. It's THC and maybe one or two that has CBD in it, and that's it. So for if you're there, you're the vast majority of the United States, and you're a decision maker, you then don't think that there's anything beyond smoking weed. So what's your buy a bag of weed. That's not gonna solve the problem.
You want to increase the patient registration for patient. Start getting those bills for PAAG and all of them there. That get passed out of committee, but don't get voted on this stuff. Now, if that's what happens, like all the medicine, PAAG, they may not pay the whole thing, and it's like, but they do give you an animal, they $2,200 per month off of marijuana that, quite frankly, got traded for bud. Plus, it comes with
Yeah, it's hard the nature of how we grow progress, the nature of like dealing with patients. We have made progress with like the bills, with patients, getting like bipartisan support from across Jersey. And we have like actually you might know this guy a little more than I do, like Declan Scanlon from Monmouth County. We got Anthony Bucco of Morris County there. We got Bingo Paul, Monmouth County guy in a minute, who's been pushing the bill along with Troy Singleton. You know, we got a lot of other guys. But, you know, I think we're at the time of the show. So thank you, everybody, for coming. It's really great to have everybody. Have a great night. We'll be here till 5. Oh, we do have a raffle. Let's say we have a raffle. You got some tickets? Yes, let's go raffle. Oh, my God. I'm so bad at raffle. All right, guys, we got a raffle here. The last 822-145. We never do it. We raffling off a page, no, we always do this difficult thing, you know. Do these things. Might have to call another one.